Hello, I'm Natasha Hussain, and this is Newsfeed, your dose of what people are talking about online. Is it time to buy, sell, or as crypto bros would say, hodl? That's crypto speak for hold. Yup, after a long crypto winter that saw the collapse of some major exchanges and the value of Bitcoin drop 77%, we're finally seeing a bounce back, with Bitcoin hitting a new high on Monday, surpassing $71,000. The cryptocurrency and other tokens have risen 215% in the past year. Recent highs have been fueled by demand for spot exchange-traded funds, better known as ETFs, that invest directly in Bitcoin. U.S. regulators reluctantly approved several Bitcoin ETFs in January, and that's seen billions of dollars flow into those ETFs. Investors are also anticipating Bitcoin's halving event expected in April. Okay, quite a lot of jargon there, so who better to explain what's going on in the crypto world than tech journalist Chris Stokel-Walker. Now, Chris, it's looking pretty bullish right now for crypto, but we've seen all of this happen before. Record highs, then a long slump. Can we expect more stability for crypto, an asset that's still very much fueled by FOMO and still seen as speculative and volatile?
Indeed, it's one of the trademarks, I suppose, of cryptocurrency that these things can yo-yo up and down. I think never say never. There is a real possibility that this will go down just as much as it has gone up in recent weeks, although there are some small changes that may actually mean that we could see these highs continuing, not least the fact that this has become a much more secure traded asset. Lots of regulatory approvals, including in the United States, where there are kind of ETFs, funds associated with crypto that are likely to be under more regulatory scrutiny. So it seems likely that there is a bit more confidence in the market.
You were talking about ETFs. Demand for spot Bitcoin ETFs is driving up the token's value. But what exactly are ETFs for the layman? Why are they helping instill more confidence in crypto?
Yeah, they're essentially linked to the price of Bitcoin, but they mean that you don't have to go through the whole rigmarole of actually buying cryptocurrency itself, which has been one of the key barriers to entry for anybody who wants to get into the crypto market. You have to, first of all, decipher what all of these new cryptocurrencies mean. You then have to get the technical expertise to actually trade it, to change your original fiat currency, dollars, pounds, euros, whatever it may be, into a crypto wallet, and then actually run that crypto wallet to buy those assets. And frankly, most people lose interest after the first couple of steps. So an ETF, a fund linked to the price of major cryptocurrencies, allows retail investors, rank and file individuals who maybe don't have that technical expertise to start to dip their toe in it. You can be linked essentially to the price of those cryptocurrencies, but you don't actually have to take quite as much of the risk in terms of the technical know-how.
So Bitcoin's recent record highs have been buoyed by growing institutional confidence for the token. But doesn't that go against Bitcoin's anti-establishment roots?
It does, and this is one of the key challenges that many of those in the crypto sector have, and it's kind of the catch-22 that the whole industry faces, which is it was set up as a foundational principle to kind of get away from these centralized control mechanisms of main banks, financial institutions, and so on, implementing rules that they have to abide by. The idea was this was decentralized, this was available to all. This was outside of the regular controls that are required by those institutions. But it's kind of going legit now, and that's a difficult thing for some people to swallow. But actually, the more realistic proponents of cryptocurrencies, those who are big fans, who actually really want this to succeed, I think will recognize that there does need to be that kind of centralized oversight and a way of people actually using it.
And also, some traders are expecting Bitcoin to hit 80,000 by the end of the month in anticipation of Bitcoin's halving event in April. So for the layman, once again, what does this halving entail and why is it significant?
So this is basically a kind of major institutional element in the Bitcoin world. It has happened multiple times before. Essentially, kind of is designed to ensure that there are enough Bitcoin to go around. Without getting into kind of the technical detail, because it does get quite confusing, and is a little bit difficult. It's a bit like turning on and off the money taps. It's a way of ensuring this stuff happens. People in that sector get very, very excited about this because it is a major moment in the crypto calendar, and it does generally go off pretty smoothly. But I think what would be really interesting is, given the kind of additional insight, the additional focus and attention that's being paid to cryptocurrency because of this kind of more mainstream approach that's going on, whether or not things go smoothly this time, because I think there'll be an awful lot of checks and balances to make sure that the halving does go right.
All right, thanks, Chris, for coming on Newsfeed today.
Thank you.
Catherine, Princess of Wales, has issued an apology after a major Photoshop fail of the first official picture of her since she had abdominal surgery in January. The photo of a cheerful Kate and her children was snapped by William and released to celebrate Mother's Day in the United Kingdom. The world's biggest photo agencies, Reuters, Associated Press, Getty, and AFP, all pulled the pic, saying there's reason to believe it was manipulated. The agency spotted an inconsistency in the alignment of Princess Charlotte's left hand. Kate has since apologized for any confusion and says, like most amateur photographers, she likes to dabble with some editing. The Photoshop fail only fueled ongoing conspiracy theories about Kate's whereabouts. Either way, netizens are having a field day.
Where is Kate? You're a photographer. You take photos of families all the time. What am I missing here? What is this Photoshop fail?
So I want to draw your attention first to Kate's hairline. We see a bit of blurriness around George's chin, so that shows that they've gone in there to make her hairline look a bit fuller.
Okay.
And then if we go over to Lou Boy, I mean, Kate's hand is really blurred out, so that gives us an indication that there's been some photoshopping and some stitching. And then poor Charlotte has copped it the worst. She has got a whole bunch of stitching around her skirt, around the side of her, down her knee, and especially her hair along her shoulder there.
So in your opinion, in your professional opinion,
Yes, of course.
this photo never happened as it's been shown to us?
Correct.
Wow, what a bizarre Photoshop fail. Now, 2023 was a roller coaster ride of cinematic excellence. The record-breaking success of Super Mario, then more records broken with the cultural explosion of Barbenheimer. The weird scenes from Saltburn that went super viral, well, they only tell a fraction of the story. It wasn't all smooth sailing. 2023 saw the industry rocked by the actors and writers' strikes, bringing production to a standstill for months. After all that, Hollywood's brightest stars gathered once again to celebrate excellence in filmmaking. Lara is here to take you through the glitz, the glamour, and all the unforgettable moments from this year's Oscars ceremony.
Lights, cameras, and chaos. The 96th Academy Awards delivered a whirlwind of standout moments. From John Cena's unexpected stage stroll
Costumes, they are so important.
to Messi, the four-legged star from Anatomy of a Fall, stealing the spotlight, to Ryan Gosling's electrifying performance alongside Slash, bringing massive energy to the Oscars stage. The talk show host and comedian Jimmy Kimmel's fourth Oscar hosting was a hit.
Thank you for that partial standing ovation.
He nailed almost all his jokes.
The highest point of Robert Downey Jr.'s long and illustrious career. Well, one of the highest points.
Imaginings horrify us.
The evening's big question was, how many awards for Oppenheimer? As expected, Christopher Nolan's blockbuster biopic dominated with 13 nominations and 7 wins, including Best Picture. Christopher Nolan, Cillian Murphy, and Robert Downey Jr. all bagged their first Oscars.
We don't know where this incredible journey is going from here, but to know that you think that I'm a meaningful part of it means the world to me.
For better or for worse, we're all living in Oppenheimer's world, so I would really like to dedicate this to the peacemakers everywhere.
I'd like to thank my terrible childhood and the Academy in that order.
The Oppenheimer-Barbie rivalry continued on stage.
And the way this award season's turned out wasn't that much of a rivalry, so...
Despite Barbie missing out on major categories and only winning Best Song, references to the film added some playfulness to the evening.
You're so beautiful.
I know.
And of course, we couldn't get enough of Ryan Gosling.
number 2.
I am Bella Baxter.
Emma Stone won her second Oscar in the Best Actress category for Poor Things.
This is really overwhelming. Sorry,
And Divine Joy Randolph took home Best Supporting Actress.
For so long, I've always wanted to be different. And now I realize I just need to be myself.
As the stars celebrated, hundreds of pro-Palestinian protesters caused the show to be delayed by 5 minutes by blocking traffic near the Dolby Theatre. Inside, attendees wore red pins calling for a ceasefire in Gaza. While international film director winner Jonathan Glazer spoke out against the violence,
right now we stand here as men who refute their Jewishness and the Holocaust being hijacked by an occupation which has led to conflict for so many innocent people.
Ukrainian director Mstislav Cherno reminded us of the major conflict in his homeland.
I wish to be able to exchange this to Russia never attacking Ukraine.
As the credits rolled on the 96th Academy Awards, the night proved to be more than just celebrating films. It was a showcase of talent, humor, and a stage for voices to be heard around the world.
The Palestinian protest shut down the Oscars tonight. Humanity wins.
As a bill that could ban TikTok in the US on national security grounds gains steam in Congress, a copyright standoff between the app and Universal Music Group is also heating up. Universal Music has pulled millions of songs from TikTok after its licensing deal with the app expired. And in the past week, TikTok itself has been forced to delete even more music. Zari takes a look at whether the app that gained popularity through music can survive the copyright spat.
TikTok, the teenage dance floor responsible for the virality of most, if not all, songs in recent years, is going silent. In February, Universal Music Group pulled its catalog from the platform after discussions over how much the app should pay artists reached a breaking point. As one of the largest music companies to ever exist, the label owns around 3 million songs, roughly a third of the world's music. And for TikTok, that made up nearly 30% of the chart toppers on the platform, including hits from pop stars like Taylor Swift, The Weeknd, and Lana Del Rey. February 1st was marked as the day the music died on the platform, and in typical TikTok fashion, users chose to react by making light of the situation. It created a great opportunity for Universal's rivals, like Sony, who capitalized on the moment with Beyoncé's new song, Texas Hold'em. With the help of its unrivaled prominence on TikTok, the song quickly rose to the top of the Billboard charts. But that window of opportunity didn't last. TikTok announced it was also taking down songs written or co-written by Universal songwriters, as the rift between the industry titans deepened. And that meant Beyoncé's fresh hit had to be muted too, since it was co-written by Raphael Saadiq, an artist signed with Universal. Industry estimates say as much as 80% of the music available on the platform could be purged, no matter how big or small the artist.
Tell me if you think this is fair. Universal Music Publishing Group is taking down songs of mine because I made a song with somebody who we made together in college when they were still in college, and 5 years later they sign a publishing deal for their music. Now this company can come retroactively take all my songs down because they're in a proxy battle with TikTok?
And the artists, they feel like they've lost their most powerful marketing tool.
Is that there's this double standard, like, oh, well, you gotta be blowing up on TikTok. Well, how are we supposed to do that if our music keeps getting muted on TikTok?
While TikTok was never meant to be a music streaming platform, it was fundamental to the discovery of it. The app put unknown artists on the radar, and gifted a breath of new life to old hits decades later.
My song's gone from TikTok and look where it was. Would you like a little acapella? You can use that, that's fine. It's murder on dance floor. But you better not kill the groove. There you go, that's just as good, right? So you can use that. I just give my permission or not use it, but anyway, nice while it lasted.
TikTok may never get the biggest earworms back on its platform, but it can still prove its value as a discovery ground for fresh talent. But will the app crumble under the fear of missing out on mainstream music? Or can its creators carve out a new purpose? Knowing TikTok, I think we all can guess the answer.
And that's our show. Find our latest stuff on YouTube and see you soon.